Today we embark on a visual journey, uncovering the secrets of one of the most mysterious relics in history, the Shroud of Turin. For centuries, this ancient cloth has captivated the world, sparking debates, controversies, and even scientific investigations. Its origins, the methods used to study it, and its cultural impact make the shroud one of the most fascinating and enigmatic objects in human history. In this video, we'll take you through its history, early examinations, the science behind it, and its profound influence on both religious faith and modern culture. Stick around till the end, as we attempt to answer some of the biggest questions surrounding the shroud and why it continues to intrigue millions worldwide. The Shroud of Turin, an ancient piece of linen cloth, is believed by many to bear the image of Jesus Christ, and for centuries, it has been a topic of religious devotion and scholarly debate. Its mystery has only deepened over time, with every discovery revealing new questions and ideas about its origins. But where did this cloth come from, and how did it become one of the most venerated relics in Christianity? The earliest documented appearance of the shroud goes back to the 14th century. It was first publicly displayed in the small French town of Lirey in 1357. However, the shroud's history may reach much further back in time. Some researchers trace its origins to earlier times, even linking it to significant historical figures such as Charlemagne, the famous emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. Some legends suggest that the shroud may have been passed down through various royal families and military orders, including the Knights Templar. The history of the shroud is intertwined with the rise of Christian devotion in medieval Europe. As the image on the shroud seemed to resemble the traditional depictions of Christ after his crucifixion, it soon gained immense religious significance. From its earliest days in the 14th century, it was venerated by Christians who believed that the shroud was the actual burial cloth of Jesus Christ, the very cloth that had wrapped his body after he was taken down from the cross. In addition to its connection with Christianity, the shroud's journey through history reveals a fascinating array of myths, rumors, and associations with some of the most powerful figures in medieval Europe. Legends and stories emerged that claimed the shroud was passed down from Christ's time to the present through royal bloodlines, secret societies, and religious orders, including the enigmatic Knights Templar. It wasn't long before the shroud became an important pilgrimage site, drawing thousands of believers who came to venerate the relic. Throughout the centuries, the shroud made its way from town to town in Europe, from France to Italy and back again, leaving behind a trail of mystery and reverence. But, as we will see later, the shroud's status as a sacred object was challenged by increasing skepticism in later centuries. By the 19th century, the Shroud of Turin had become the subject of intense scrutiny. The cloth had long been revered as the burial shroud of Christ, but skeptics and scientists began to question its authenticity. Was the shroud really the ancient cloth that had been wrapped around Jesus' body after his crucifixion, or was it a medieval creation? These questions would not remain unanswered for long. In 1898, the first major scientific examination of the shroud took place. Italian photographer Secondo Pia was granted permission to photograph the shroud. As he developed the photographs, he made a shocking discovery. The image on the shroud, previously blurry and difficult to discern with the naked eye, appeared much clearer and more defined in the photographs. The face of a man, seemingly bearing the marks of crucifixion, became visible in startling detail. This discovery raised immediate questions. Could this image be a genuine representation of Jesus Christ? How was this image formed? What created the detailed marks of blood and injuries? Was this an ancient relic, or was it a clever medieval forgery? The photographic discovery opened the door to further scientific investigations into the shroud's origins and the nature of the image. As the 20th century progressed, the shroud continued to be analyzed using increasingly sophisticated technology. In addition to photography, scientists began to examine the shroud using various visual and chemical tests. The analysis revealed that the image on the shroud was not painted or drawn, but seemed to be imprinted onto the cloth in a way that defied explanation. Many people believed the shroud was a miraculous artifact, but skeptics dismissed it as a product of medieval artistry, perhaps created to deceive the faithful. As the shroud continued to spark fascination and controversy, The 20th century saw a dramatic shift in the approach to studying the cloth. In the past, religious devotion and speculation dominated discussions surrounding the shroud. But with the rise of modern science, researchers began using advanced techniques to investigate the shroud more thoroughly. One of the most famous and controversial studies conducted on the shroud was radiocarbon dating. In 1988, a team of scientists used radiocarbon dating to test a small sample of the shroud. The results were groundbreaking. The shroud, they concluded, had been created between 1260 and 1390 AD, placing its origin squarely in the medieval period, long after the time of Jesus. This radiocarbon dating result caused a firestorm of debate. Supporters of the shroud's authenticity pointed out that the sample tested may have been contaminated or taken from a part of the cloth that was not representative of the whole. After all, the shroud had undergone significant restoration work throughout the centuries, including the addition of new cloth. Some suggested that the radiocarbon dating results were inaccurate, and that they failed to account for the shroud's true age. While the radiocarbon dating results were a blow to those who believed the shroud was the authentic burial cloth of Christ, other scientific studies continued to shed light on the shroud's enigmatic nature. For example, scientists performed pollen analysis on the cloth, finding traces of pollen grains that appeared to come from plants native to the Middle East. These findings suggested that the shroud might have originated in the area of Palestine, and raised further questions about the shroud's history and its possible connection to Christ's time. In addition to pollen analysis, studies of the fibers used to weave the shroud also revealed that it was made from a type of linen that was consistent with fabrics used in ancient times. While these findings supported the idea that the shroud might be an ancient artifact, the controversy surrounding its radiocarbon dating persisted. Beyond the scientific and religious debates, the Shroud of Turin has had a profound impact on modern culture. Its image has been depicted in countless works of art, literature, and film. Artists have used the shroud as inspiration for representations of Christ's passion and sacrifice, while writers and filmmakers have woven the shroud into stories of mystery and intrigue. In the realm of popular culture, the shroud has become a symbol of faith, but also a focal point for conspiracy theories. Some argue that the shroud is not a relic at all, but rather a medieval creation, perhaps fabricated by the church to increase its power and influence. Others believe that the shroud's true origins are hidden in a web of secret societies, such as the Knights Templar or the Freemasons. These conspiracy theories have only added to the shroud's allure, ensuring that it remains a captivating enigma for people around the world. As we come to the end of our journey through the shroud's history, we can't help but marvel at its enduring mystery. Despite centuries of investigation, many questions remain unanswered. What is the truth behind the Shroud of Turin? Is it an ancient relic that has withstood the test of time, or is it a product of medieval artistry? One thing is certain: the shroud continues to inspire fascination, debate, and religious devotion. Whether viewed as a miraculous relic, a historical artifact, or a clever hoax, the Shroud of Turin remains a symbol of mystery that transcends time and culture. What do you believe? Is the shroud a genuine relic of Jesus Christ, or is it a centuries-old puzzle that remains unsolved? We invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos that explore the greatest mysteries of our time.